Here we go. Have y'all seen the Netflix show How to Rob a Bank? And the reason why I'm asking y'all that is because right now I'm going through a phase where where it's like a bunch of my college friends, some hometown friends, we're reconnecting, and it's almost like as if it's the perfect time for us to get back together. It feels like the Avengers getting back together in a lot of ways. It feels like that. Hold on. And the reason why it feels like that is because a lot of us, we were hanging out more, doing a lot of different things together. We had all these grand ideas to do this and that. And it seemed like it was more motion maybe 5 to 10 years ago because, people move on with their lives. People have kids, people get married, all these different things that come into people's lives as they mature and as they grow. So in certain ways, we grew apart. And sometimes it was a little ego here and there, but a lot of times it was just kind of people just doing their own thing. So we've been reconnecting, and it's literally, what's that movie where, The Expendables, I think, where you go, like, I forget who's going, but they're going from person to person saying like, yo, we got to get together, or any movie. It's just like, what's the movie where Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12, where he's going and getting his crew together. So I've been having a lot of these different conversations. A bunch of us have been having a lot of these different conversations together. And what does it have to do with the first question that I asked y'all is if y'all robbed a bank? I'm going to tell you what it has to do with this. All right. So first and foremost, a lot of times we try to go at this thing alone, called life, being successful, running a business, whatever it may be. And the more that comes on our plate, it seems like the more we realize that we need help. But a lot of times it's almost as if, nobody's going to do it the exact way that I do it. So I'd rather just do it myself. Nobody's going to care about it as much as I care about it. I'd rather just do it myself. All these different things. And we make excuses as to why we do not have a team. That's why it makes sense to go alone. Now, for us, and what may happen to a lot of y'all, when you have that group when you're younger, it can be a lot of different people in the circle that are super competitive, super passionate, focused on what they want to do. They feel like they have their own individual purpose, and nobody wants to have their ideas shut down. Everybody wants to do it their way. And there's a lot of pride, ego, stubbornness that gets in the way. And then pretty much because everybody's super competitive, it ends up being like, all right, well, you do it that way. I'm going to do it this way, and we'll see which way works. But then 10 years later, you realize like, yo, we would have been on if we were worried about making a pizza together rather than each of us having these little mini personal pan pizzas thinking that we're doing something, when in all actuality, the people that we see that are successful on YouTube, that are successful on various platforms, they are successful because they have a huge team. So when it comes to ourselves and just my personal situation, instead of me looking at everybody else and saying, like, everybody else that's on YouTube that I don't know, and saying like, yo, they corny, how are they making it? How are they on? Like, this content is better, I'm putting out better, across the board, right? And there's a bunch of us in my group that are doing this, I think. And it's not about bashing those particular people, but it's more so about calling ourselves out. And that's the good thing, because we're calling ourselves out to say like, yeah, we got to figure this out. There's no reason why we shouldn't, as a group, be more successful. So back to how to rob a bank. Who would you rob a bank with? That's my question. If you had to rob a bank with somebody, who would it be? And the reason why I'm asking who would it be is because there's a lot of unique qualities that go into robbing a bank. How do I know? I'm not getting ready to rob a bank. I have no interest in robbing a bank. However, I was very much intrigued by this show, How to Rob a Bank, with this Hollywood bank robber that was robbing a bunch of banks up in Seattle on Netflix. If y'all get a sec, y'all have some free time, check it out. And as I'm sitting there, he's getting his team together. And like I said, there's a lot of unique qualities. Somebody who's going to do the due diligence and the research beforehand. Somebody that's going to be on the lookout during the situation. Somebody that's going to be maybe coming in the bank after you, kind of performing the muscle type service and making sure that nobody leaves, nobody does anything while you go in the back and go to the vault. There's going to be a driver. All these different people have unique qualities, and the number one quality is trust. Everybody has to be trusted. So that's why I ask, if you were going to rob a bank, who would you rob it with? Now, the reason why the number one factor is trust is because what? Why would you say the number one factor is trust? I would say because my freedom's on the line. I don't want to lose my freedom. These are the people that I'm trusting, so I cannot lose my freedom. So I got to thinking. I said, if I was going to rob a bank, all of these people I would trust, and I would trust them to not lose my freedom. Why would I not trust them as I pursue freedom, as I pursue financial freedom, as I pursue wellness, all these different things, purposeful abundance, the things that we talk about a lot? Why would I not trust these same individuals in those regards? And that's how you're going to build your team. So think about that question. If you were going to rob a bank, if you were getting ready today, if you said, you know what, today we're going to start planning, we're going to rob a bank, who would your team consist of? Now, if I was you, I would reach out to some of those people and figure out how you guys can work together, come together for a greater purpose, an all-in buy-in. And we all know how the best teams perform. We talk about it a lot. When people are able to prioritize the overall goal, look, we're trying to get some money out this bank. We're trying to get out here safe. Nobody gets caught. Nobody has to worry about this person telling her. All right, we get clean out of there, right? No different than football. Yo, we're trying to win this game. We're trying to make sure that everybody performs well. Boom, boom, boom. And we're all committed to the greater good of the team. And what ends up happening is it ends up being greater for the individuals as well. So ask yourself how to rob a bank. There's no excuse not to have a team. There's no reason to go at this alone. It's just not practical to winning. It's not practical to winning. Anybody that tells you that they're self-made, they're either lying or not as successful as they're saying that they are.